Becoming an anti-bias teacher can be challenging. There are so many different factors that go into helping us recognize biases that we may have been raised with. I find that in my world, when I was raised, I was surrounded by people from a variety of cultures, so it really wasn't a huge leap for me. When I first started teaching, I taught in a primarily African American school in the middle of gang territory in North Portland. It was totally different from the area where I went to college, and yet it was something that felt very natural, and there were so few issues that I really don't remember them now. Later on, I moved to Eastern Canada with my husband, and there would be days, maybe even weeks, when I would never see anyone who was any race other than Caucasian. It was a very different environment from where I had come from. Later, we moved back to Portland and then eventually to Northern California. And while we were in Northern California, I noticed that although it was primarily Caucasian area, there was a large population of Hmong people as well. I remember my middle school son coming home one day and saying, "Mom, I don't like brown people." My eyes probably just about popped out of my head because he had not heard anything like that at home. And so I asked him, "What makes you feel like that?" I didn't want to say, "You shouldn't feel like that," even though that's what I wanted to say. He was able to tell me that he didn't like them because they spoke a language he couldn't understand, and he felt they were talking about him. It was a great conversation starter, and we were able to discuss the fact that most people most often converse in the language they are most familiar with. That doesn't have to feel like a threat to us. He got over that, fortunately, and actually he, in just a few months, is marrying a beautiful young lady with, believe it or not, brown skin. A lot of times people have biases they can't really pinpoint why they feel a particular way. It's okay to have conversations about these things. Sometimes it helps us realize that through conversations, our feelings are not based on anything actually that happened, or perhaps we are forming stereotypes, but we need to be willing to examine these feelings that we may have. That's our focus of the reading this week. I think you'll find there are plenty of opportunities for self-reflection in this class. Some of you have expressed to me that you're taking this class because you don't want to be carrying around biases. I applaud you and your efforts to work through some of these challenges that you may have right now. And I believe that this chapter is one that's really going to help you examine where you are and help you determine where you want to head from here. Have a great week.